Hi, my name's Christopher Drake Silverman Jr. with the Silverman Network. I'm here with the founder and owner of the band, The Death of Trees.
How you doing today?
Good. So tell us a little bit of how you got started.
Well, I've always been a fan of music ever since I was a kid. My parents always had, an array of music in the house, and there was always something playing. Anything from Phantom of the Opera to Elton John to Queen to doo-wop rock to Motown, classical music, you name it. It was in the house, and my parents started me on the piano after they discovered that I had like an aptitude for music. I had an ear, and even if I didn't know how to play an instrument, I would play around with it and be able to figure something out. That's pretty much what I'm still doing today. Obviously, over time, I've learned techniques and I've done a little research, but I kind of go from the cuff, and just kind of whatever sounds cool, basically,
Awesome.
and I try to make something out of it, and I think I have a pretty good sense of layering and knowing what fits and what doesn't fit.
Yeah. And my question to you is, have you worked with anyone else before this?
I have actually, meaning like bands or
Bands,
other people.
anyone, really.
I always had a couple friends growing up that were in bands, and I would hang around them and watch them and go to their shows. I myself would go out and not only do music, but sometimes just open mic, spoken word, things like that. And just a group of us during high school, sometimes we'd sneak out and go to this coffee shop, and that was like the first real, like stage performance in front of an audience of people that you don't know at all. And it was fun. It was a relaxed atmosphere, but it was getting that courage to get out there and just do it. And no matter what happens, there's always that fear that you're going to be judged. And whether you are or not, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you, at the end of the day, had the guts to get up there and do it. And even to this day, I still have a little stage fright. Sometimes I need a little bit of the liquid courage, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just to get in front of people and not forget that they're there, but you kind of pretend that there's nobody out there, at least at first. And when you kind of feel the crowd out, and you can see if they're receiving it well or not. Obviously the show has to go on whether they are or not, but it always helps when the audience is kind of digging what you're doing.
Yeah.
It makes it easier. But yeah,
And I do have another question for you. Is who are your most who are the where do you get your inspiration from?
Well, a lot of great bands. I listen to, like I said, everything from not just different genres of music from different time periods, just like anybody would. But I always have an ear. I definitely have an ear that I hear. Got this out, by the way. When I listen to songs, I can almost hear every level of, or every layer to the song. When they're in the studio and they're using a certain effect, or they find another way to make a crazy sound, or you're pumping your keyboards through your guitar pedals, or you're singing through your guitar pedals, or something. I'm always looking for something different in music, and I also like it when there's accidental things that happen and you just can't reproduce it. Sometimes you lose those things when you're overthinking or over-processing your songs. You end up cutting a lot of the spirit out of it. And I've always been a fan of live music. I love hearing a band live. I like hearing the squeaking on the string talk, the squeaking on the strings, the thump of hitting the bass, and just all those like really in real life things that you hear in music that you don't hear when things are over processed or run through a machine and compressed. There's a lot of compression. I do a mixture of that. I like to do things that are recorded live through microphones, but also digitally, and I will usually do a mix of those things on every song because I just, I like the sound, the acoustics. Even taking a microphone into a shower and closing, the glass door and recording a guitar in there just because it has a cool, reverb effect or you know, and then keeping that in there.
I do have, you know, another question for you. For any other younger or maybe older that or they're starting to they found a new passion for music and they kind of want to just get out there, what would you have to give them for advice?
I'd say don't be afraid to play the things that you like to play, and because those are going to be the things you do the best. But also don't be afraid to try new things. You know, experiment. Don't pigeonhole yourself into one thing. You know, expand. Try different styles. Try different instruments. Try different singing styles. You know, recording styles. You know, get yourself out there doing anything. You know, and if you're a person that's kind of established and you are a trained musician and you're just looking to get out there, again, you know, get with a group of people that you enjoy playing with. It's even if it isn't exactly what you would do, getting out there and putting your name out there is very important, because you never know where it's going to lead you or you're going to meet. There's always time to do your own stuff. You know, I always think there's always a side project or something you can do, but in the meantime, you just got to get out there and do something.
Yeah.
If not just for the love of being out there.
Yeah.
You know? We're not in it for the money.
You're in it for
we're into because it's a release, it's a passion, it's an art. You know, it's almost tangible. You know, the music, it becomes it has its own personality. You become the personality of your music. It's and vice versa.
Yeah.
But it's a great outlet for the guys that I'm playing with now. You know, we all have normal lives outside of this, and sometimes things are rough. Mostly times are rough. But it's the one place that we can come and you know, dump our crap and cope. You know, and having something in common that we enjoy doing it's just the best. You know, that feeling.
Yeah, so thank you so much for everything. And that was the Death of Trees.
Thank you.
Thank you.